This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. 4 tourists among several people injured in Drillani crash. 4 tourists en route to a hotel on the north coast are among 6 people rushed to a hospital following a 2-vehicle crash on the Duncan's main road in Drillani. The driver of the Toyota Hiace minibus in which the tourists were traveling and the driver of a mangled Nissan AD wagon have been rushed to the hospital. It is reported that around 9 o'clock Saturday night, the driver of the AD wagon was heading towards Montego Bay when he lost the control of the car and crashed into the Hiace minibus. The driver of the wagon had to be cut from the vehicle. His legs are broken for sure, said one bystander who helped to remove him from the wrecked vehicle. A video posted on social media shows the motorist writhing in pain. He had apparently been thrown into the front passenger seat by the impact and was pinned for some time before he was extracted by passers-by and firefighters using heavy equipment. Health Authority hoping COVID-19 hospitalization remains low. 2 months ago, the 5 hospitals in this southern region had over 200 COVID-19 patients, but that number is now drastically reduced. Southern Regional Health Authority Director Michael Bent told the news on Thursday that there were 63 COVID-19 patients on isolation wards at hospitals in Manchester, Clarendon, and St. Elizabeth. We are hoping that this trend can continue to decline and people will continue to follow the protocols and to take their vaccines so that we can reduce the hospitalization as we approach Christmas and the festive season, he said. Up to midweek, there were 17 COVID-19 patients at Mandeville Regional Hospital, 24 at Maypen Hospital, 6 at Lioneltown Hospital, 8 at Percy Junior Hospital, and 8 at Black River Hospital. He said that up to Wednesday, the region had administered over 181,000 doses of COVID-19 vaccines, with 106,000 being first doses, 66,000 being second doses, and 9,000 being single doses. The southern region is preparing to administer second doses of the Pfizer vaccine in the coming days, following last Wednesday's arrival of 45,000 doses of the vaccine and another shipment of 100,000 doses on Friday. He said that at least 9 sites, 3 in each parish, throughout the region will be offering Pfizer. We figure that the demand for Pfizer will be high because of the second doses that are due. We put in place all preparations for those, said Bent. He encouraged the over 14,000 people who are due their second dose of the vaccine in the region to register online and to turn up for their appointment. Once we have the vaccines and the people turn up, we can complete those next week, he said. Bent said homeless people were being vaccinated across the region with mainly the Johnson and the Johnson vaccine. He said the vaccination of the homeless is being done through mental health clinics and the drop-in centers. Some of these homeless persons go to drop-in centers for a meal and a change of clothes through those systems. We have been vaccinating persons with primarily the 1-dose Johnson and the Johnson, he said. We have several mental health clinics all about the region because we have them in different parishes on different days. The clinic days are at different locations at least once per week, he added. Paulwell wants more relief for Jamaicans impacted by COVID pandemic. Member of Parliament for East Kingston and Port Royal Philip Paulwell is urging the government to do more to provide relief to vulnerable Jamaicans who have been negatively impacted by the effects of the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. Many small business operators have witnessed the destruction of their livelihoods. Unemployment has increased. Our students have had their education severely and negatively affected and curtailed, and our elderly citizens have had to endure loneliness and hunger during the period of lockdown, Paulwell said. He was making his contribution to the State of the Constituency debate in the House of Representatives recently. Paulwell noted that the government has provided some relief for those most impacted by the pandemic, but said despite our efforts, people continue to suffer. He said it was time to get more food into the hands of the people as the distribution of care packages has been infrequent and insufficient. He said that as the Christmas period approaches, more resources should be provided, in particular to the elderly and the shut-ins. Paulwell also said the distribution of tablets to students must be accelerated in order for them to continue their education online. He lamented that the 100 tablets that were promised to each member of parliament for delivery to needy constituents are yet to be provided. He warned that time is of the essence on this urgent and critical matter. It is important that those tablets be delivered now. Meanwhile, Paulwell also called for a comprehensive revamping of the nearly 20-year-old program of advancement through health and education, with a particular focus on the criteria used to register persons as PATH beneficiaries. According to Paulwell, who was a minister in the then People's National Party government at the time PATH was created in 2002, this is long overdue. The review should include substantial modification of the qualification and the methodology used to determine the ranking of poor people. To fail to qualify because the household has a refrigerator and other necessities is wrong, Paulwell declared. DCS opens a medical facility at the Tamarind Farm Prison. The Department of Correctional Services opened its medical center and infirmary at the Tamarind Farm Adult Correctional Center in St. Catherine on Friday. The 25-patient capacity facility will house bedridden and infirmed inmates from the Tower Street and the St. Catherine Adult Correctional Facilities. There are currently 18 such inmates within the prison system who will be relocated to the MCI within the next 2 weeks. The infirmary is for those in the care of the department who need special care and medical treatment, said Commissioner of Corrections Lieutenant Colonel retired Gary Rowe. The commissioner, who was addressing attendees at a ribbon-cutting ceremony at the Tamarind Farm Adult Correctional Center to mark the occasion, explained that the MCI is a part of the transformation of the DCS's strategic plans heading into 2030. The Vision 2030 Jamaica, which is a strategic roadmap to guide the country towards achieving its goals of sustainable development and prosperity by the year 2030, is in line with the inclusive development paradigm of the United Nations that integrates the standards and the principles of human rights, participation, non-discrimination, and accountability. 2 state-of-the-art early childhood institutions for Northwest Clarendon, said Henriquez. 2 new state-of-the-art early childhood institutions have been constructed in conjunction with the Chase Fund in the Clarendon Northwestern constituency of Philip Henriquez. The first-term member of Parliament said one of the facilities is attached to the Kilsyth Primary School in the Frankfield Division of the constituency, while the other is sited at the Victoria Primary School in the Thompsontown Division. Both schools are now 90% complete and are built to the Early Childhood Commission standards and will receive a full certification once operational, Henriquez said. He was making his first contribution to the State of the Constituency debate in the House of Representatives on Wednesday. Henriquez described the general state of the 29 schools in his constituency, 6 high schools and 23 primary schools, the most of any of the 63 constituencies, as being in need of better infrastructure. This is the first time in well over 10 years that such significant investments have been made in this constituency in the area of education, he said. Henriquez also noted that the Edwin Allen High School has benefited from the addition of 6 new classrooms as well as a new dormitory for the girls' track team to house 80 student athletes. FID flags 6 financial institutions, initiates probes. Keith Darien, Principal Director of the Financial Investigations Division, on Friday served notice that investigations have commenced into the operations of at least 6 institutions operating in the financial sector that are not in compliance with the law. He told a virtual press conference on Friday's National Anti-Money Laundering Day that the evidence would suggest that the operations of these institutions are being used to facilitate money laundering. We believe that a couple of these institutions may be prosecuted or they will have to be addressed from a point of the fixed penalty regime, which was included in the Proceeds of Crime Act in November 2019, said Darien. He revealed that between January and October this year, the FID concluded investigations into 17 asset recovery cases, including criminal benefits or assets, with an accumulated values of 1.185 billion Jamaican dollars and just over US $182,000. This compares with 13 cases completed in 2020 with criminal assets or benefits of amounting to 300 billion Jamaican dollars or US $1.54 million. On an annualized basis, this year's figures represent an increase of 50% in the number of investigations conducted into asset recovery and a 130% increase in the value of criminal assets or benefits identified which are subject to confiscation or forfeiture order. Of the 17 cases completed thus far, 8 involved persons who were convicted for drug trafficking offenses and 4 for lottery scamming. In addition, the FID has also identified assets including real estate holdings, motor vehicles and bank accounts valued at over 300 million Jamaican dollars and about US $54,000, which it will pursue to satisfy the formal orders as they are obtained from the Supreme Court. 5 formal orders were granted by the court in 2021, amounting to over 33 million Jamaican dollars. Darian further disclosed that since the beginning of the year, the division has restrained assets in excess of 334 million Jamaican dollars in furtherance of money laundering and asset recovery investigations, which include 5 houses, 6 motor vehicles, and 5 bank accounts. The division has also forfeited assets being managed with a value of Jamaican $1.273 billion. In terms of cases finalized by the court and recovery done through forfeiture orders, some 44 real estate holdings valued at over 1 billion Jamaican dollars, 19 motor cars valued at approximately $10 million, 19 bank accounts containing Jamaican $245.7 million, and other assets like jewelry, brand name bags, and so on valued at $2 million have been confiscated. We are about to place some of these assets, the real estate in particular, on the market so that we can dispose of them, Darian disclosed. Meanwhile, Senior Deputy Governor of the Bank of Jamaica, Dr. Wayne Robinson, noted that as the COVID-19 pandemic has forced the persons and businesses to change how they conduct their affairs, criminals have also been changing their strategies to keep pace. The shift to digital services provides additional opportunities to exploit, and the members of the public, therefore, need to be aware of the risk and the regulations that the authorities have put in place to protect them and the financial system as well, said Robinson. The evolving landscape calls for all of us to be vigilant, to quickly identify suspicious actions and behaviors, and to be cautious in our business and financial dealings. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.